everybody. This is me, David again. I'm David Blue Ice, and this is God Creation and Life History Part 4. Um, it's been a while since the last time I made any videos. So this is Part 4. Okay. Okay, let's begin. Beautiful garden home. Jehovah God made one part of the earth a very beautiful garden called the Garden of Eden. It was a perfect paradise, and Jehovah placed the first human beings inside this beautiful home to live. Jehovah wanted humans to fill the earth and turn the entire earth into a beautiful paradise of perfection. Okay, now if you look to your right, you'll see two pictures. Both of these pictures show what the new system will possibly look like, and also probably what the Garden of Eden possibly could have looked like, because it's very beautiful, and it's just perfect. It looks just perfect for you know for like humans to live in, with the water and then the animals. Creation of Adam and Eve. Jehovah God took some dust from the ground and formed a perfect body of a human man. Then he blew into the nose of the man, and the man came to life. This man was named Adam. And then God made Adam fall into a deep sleep, and Jehovah took a rib bone from his side and used it to form a perfect body of a woman. This woman was named Eve, and she became the wife of Adam. Okay, now if you look at the pictures to the left, the top one shows a picture of like dirt on the earth. It represents like the dust that Jehovah used from the ground to form humans. And then the second picture shows a picture of a rib bone, which represents Jehovah taking one of Adam's ribs to form Eve. And then the bottom picture shows a representation of Adam and Eve, like what they could have possibly like been doing, like in the Garden of Eden, with the animals. And I'm sure it probably had waterfalls. It was just very beautiful. Trees inside the Garden of Eden. Okay, there were all kinds of beautiful fruit trees in the Garden of Eden. There were also two certain trees that were different from the other trees in the Garden of Eden. The first tree that was different from the other trees was called the Tree of Life. This tree was placed in the middle of the Garden of Eden. This tree most likely was the source of the everlasting life of human beings, because Jehovah God wanted humans to live forever. Jehovah God did not want humans to die, and death was not Jehovah's plan for humans. Now, this tree, the Tree of Life, in my opinion, I believe that this tree possibly would have been cultivated throughout the whole entire earth, and everybody probably would have to partake of its fruitage to be able to have everlasting life, because this probably was a very special tree. Okay. The second tree that was different from the other trees was called the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. This is the tree that Jehovah God specifically instructed Adam and Eve not to partake of its fruit. Jehovah warned them that if they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, then they would positively die. This would mean that as soon as they eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, they will immediately lose their everlasting perfect life and begin to grow old, get sick, and die, and certainly die. Okay. Now, if we look to the right, it just shows a picture um that could be like the Garden of Eden, and then what it could have looked like and with the animals and stuff, and or the peacocks, and then and yeah, and then it shows like the tree of life like in the middle of the garden, and then it shows the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. A good angel turned bad. Once an angel turns bad, it is no longer an angel. It is now a demon. And the very first angel that became a demon is also known as the leader of the demons, Satan the devil. Satan was not always bad. In fact, Satan used to be a good angel. His name in heaven is called Lucifer and is known as Satan the devil on earth. Lucifer is the most attractive angel that Jehovah God created. When humans were created and Jehovah God's plan for humans to be perfect, obedient worshippers and servants of Him was beginning, Lucifer became jealous of God and wanted humans to worship and serve Him. That is how Lucifer turned bad and became known as Satan the devil. Okay, now if you look at the pictures to the left, the top one shows like a picture of um like an angel starting to turn bad, and then the bottom picture shows a demon representing Lucifer as a good angel, and then he turned bad. A snake deceived Eve. One day Eve heard a snake talking to her. This was very surprising because snakes do not talk like humans. An angel that turned bad was making the snake talk. It was Satan the devil. The snake asked Eve, "Did God say that you would die if you ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and bad?" Then Eve told the snake that God said, "If you eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, then you will positively die." Then the snake told Eve that you positively will not die, and that you will become like God, knowing both good and bad. The snake convinced Eve, and she partook of the fruit from the forbidden tree of the knowledge of good and bad. Then she offered some to her husband Adam, and he also ate the fruit from the forbidden tree. Then both Adam and Eve began to notice that they were both naked and became embarrassed. Okay, now if you look to the pictures to the right, the top one shows um that's the serpent or the snake talking to Eve, convincing her to partake of the fruit from the forbidden tree. And then the bottom picture shows Eve looking at the fruit because the snake convinced her, and now the fruit is became desirable for food for her um and Adam also eventually. Jehovah God punished Adam and Eve. Shortly after Adam and Eve partook of the fruit from the forbidden tree, they started to hear the voice of Jehovah God, and they became afraid and hid themselves in the trees of the garden. Then Jehovah kept calling Adam, and Adam finally answered God and said he he heard his voice, but he hid because he was embarrassed because he was naked. Then God asked Adam, "Who told you that you were naked?" God also asked Adam, "Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Then Adam said, "The woman that you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit from the tree, and so I ate." Then Jehovah God said to Eve, "What is this you have done?" Then Eve said, "The serpent deceived me, and so I ate." Then Jehovah made clothes for Adam and Eve from fig leaves. Then Jehovah punished Adam and Eve by removing them from their beautiful home and guarding the tree of life with cherubs and a flaming blade of a sword that was turning itself continually to block access to the tree of life. Okay, so remember the tree of life is, in my opinion, was probably um the tree that was supposed to be um cultivated around the entire earth um to probably the fruit from the tree probably will was supposed to help humans to live forever, but but Adam and Eve lost access to this tree, so this tree was probably not able to be cultivated throughout the whole earth, and that's probably why we died, because we're not eating from its fruit. So I'm not sure. This tree probably is not on the earth right now because humans cannot live forever at the moment. And if you look at the picture to the left, it shows Adam and Eve being kicked out of their um their home, which was the Garden of Eden, and it shows the angels um and the chariots blocking access um to the tree of life and the Garden of Eden. And it also shows the clothes that Jehovah made for Adam and Eve, which were made from fig leaves. Outside the Garden of Eden, life was hard for Adam and Eve. Outside the Garden of Eden, they no longer had beautiful fruit trees growing all around them. They had many thorns and thistles grow around them, and they had to do a lot of hard work. Since Adam and Eve were no longer perfect humans and no longer had everlasting life, that meant that all their children would be born into sin as imperfect humans who would certainly die just like their parents, Adam and Eve. This is why humans grow old, get sick, and die. Okay, now if you look at the pictures to the right, both of these pictures show thorns and thistles, like on some plants, representing the thorns and thistles growing around Adam and Eve when they were put out of their beautiful home on the earth. And this meant that life life was hard. Life became hard for them because they disobeyed Jehovah God, and so they had to work hard, and they started to slowly die and slowly grow old, and of course became sicknesses became common with humans because humans became um humans were now imperfect, so their health became imperfect, so everything about them became imperfect. The beginning of painful childbirth for women. Adam and Eve had many children. Since Adam and Eve sinned, when Eve gave birth, it was painful for her. This meant that all her daughters would have to endure pain during childbirth. This is why so this is why many women have labor pain. And some women, I mean, it's possible that some women don't have labor pain or a painful childbirth, but um I believe most women do because of okay, I'm going to explain why. Okay. This is why many women have labor pain. Women are not meant to have pain during childbirth, but because Adam and Eve disobeyed Jehovah God, they have to endure women have to endure a painful labor. So that's why it's painful for the women that have like intense labor pain because because Adam and Eve disobeyed Jehovah. Okay, now if we look at the picture to the left, it shows a woman that's going through pain during her pregnancy. Um, so that represents like the pain that women have to go through when they're pregnant. Um, and women are not supposed to have painful pregnancies, but they're imperfect, so this is what happens. Cain and Abel. Cain was the first son of Adam and Eve. Cain became a farmer. The name of the second son of Adam and Eve was Abel. Abel became a shepherd. One day Cain and Abel brought a gift to God. God was pleased with Abel's gift because he was a good man and he loved his brother Cain. God was not pleased with Cain's gift because he was a bad man and he did not love his brother Abel. God told Cain to change his ways, but he did not listen. Since God was pleased with Abel's gift and not Cain's, this made Cain so angry that he killed his brother Abel. Okay, so the pictures to the right, the top one shows um some a picture of some vegetables and some fruit. Um and this represents Cain's gift because a farmer, so he grew fruits and vegetables and stuff. And then the bottom picture shows a a picture of a sheep family. Um, and this represents Abel's gift to God, because Abel became a shepherd, so he took care of the baby sheep and the adult sheep, the baby lambs and the adult male rams, and then the adult female ewes. Men with long hair. In today's society, sometimes men with long hair are classified associated with homosexuality or femininity by some people. However, this is not the case for every man with long hair. Some men wear long hair to acquire and display a certain style or trend or fad. Several men wore long hair in the earlier part of human history, such as Samson. Hair does not define the sexuality of a man. I myself, aka David Bugold, fit in this category because I have long hair and I love my hair and I never want to cut it. My opinion is that a man should be able to have long or short hair as long as it's well kept and neat. Due to a particular scripture in the Bible, Jehovah's Witness men are taught to wear short hair. Okay, now if you look at the picture to the left, it shows a Native American man with long hair, and I hope someday my hair gets that long, but if not, that's okay. Okay, homosexuality and LGBTQ. Okay, homosexuality, which consists of lesbian for the L, gay for the G, bisexual for the B, transgender for the T, and queer or questioning for the Q. LGBTQ are and have been both accepted and looked down upon in both past and modern human history. The rainbow is associated with homosexuality, but the rainbow is actually a symbol of Jehovah God's promise, which will be discussed at a later time. In the new system, homosexuality will not be practiced because it is one of various sins and one that Jehovah hates. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah displays Jehovah God's hatred for homosexuality, which will also be discussed later. Okay, now if you look at the picture to the right, it shows a picture of I guess it's a LGBTQ flag, which is a rainbow. People born with male and female body parts. People that were born with both male and female body parts were born with an imperfection because that person is meant to be either male or female. These people are known as hermaphrodites. Although they were born with parts of both genders, Jehovah knows what gender they are truly supposed to be, and this will be corrected in the new system. Okay, if you look at the picture to the left, it shows the male and female gender symbols, which represents like somebody that's both male and female, or have both male and female body parts. Transgenders. People that display or categorize themselves as the opposite gender of what they were born as are considered a transgender. Some transgenders undergo sex changes to become the opposite gender. These individuals are still the previous gender that they were before in God's eyes. Some people that go through a sex change can't hide what they were before, which is often common in male transgenders that change their gender to females. Some men are able to completely conceal any sign that they were previously a man when they have a sex change. Also, females that get their sex changed to males also can have certain qualities that can and can't be concealed to reveal their previous gender identities. Okay, so if we look to also, before that, also I want to say that males, like, one of the major reasons that it's very hard for them to conceal themselves if they have a sex change is because of their voice. Some men, like, even when they get a sex change with to be a female, their voice, they just can't they just can't alter it, or they can't get it to sound completely like a woman's voice, because they just can't get it to sound completely like that, because that's not what they are. Okay, if you look at the picture to the right, it shows a woman that had a sex change. At first she was a woman, and then the picture next to it shows her as a man. Marriage, heterosexual and same-sex. Jehovah God created an arranged marriage for a man and woman. This is why only a man and woman, without any sex changes involved, can reproduce and produce more human offspring. A man and woman that marry are considered married in Jehovah God's eyes. For same-sex marriages, although they may be able to become legally married, they are not considered married in God's eyes, because same-sex marriage was not God's plan or purpose for human beings. Okay, now if you look at the pictures to the left, the one at the top shows two wedding rings, which symbolizes marriage, or which marriages consist of in the world today, engagement rings, and then the wedding rings. And it shows the gold rings on top of some lace, some white silk, or lace or silk. And then the picture next to it shows a man and woman who just were married. And then the picture at the bottom to the left shows a same-sex couple. It looks like they're a Mexican couple that got married. Mexican man, male couple that got married. And then if you look at the picture right next to it to the right, it shows some decorations for I guess cakes for same-sex marriage couples. Like, the first one shows, like, I guess if two women got married, they would put that on top of their cake or something. And then if two men got married, they would put that little figurine on top of their cake. And this represents the LGBT TQ again because of the rainbow in both pictures at the bottom. God punishes Cain. God punishes Cain by sending him far away from his family to live in another part of the world. Cain took one of his sisters with him and she became his wife. Cain and his wife began to have children. Other sons and daughters of Adam and Eve also got married and had children. Soon the earth was inhabited by many people. Okay, now if you look at the picture to the right, you see a man and a woman walking, which represents Cain, and and one of his sisters, which became his wife, walking, and it looks like they're going like to a distant part of the earth, or that's what the picture represents. Incest in the early years of human history. Incest was acceptable in the early years of human history because there were not many people in the earth, and Jehovah God wanted the earth to be filled with many people. And also, this is the only way people will reproduce anyway because we are all children from Adam and Eve, and this is the only way that we'll be able to make more more humans. but also I know God could have like made separate individual humans that weren't related, but that's not what happened, and it was supposed to be this way, and it's totally okay. Okay. That is why the brothers and sisters, which were the children of Adam and Eve, were able to marry each other and have children. When Jehovah saw that the earth had enough people, he wanted incest to cease because there were plenty of people to choose as a mate, and there were not that were not part of your direct, immediate, or extended family. Okay, so the picture to the left shows a picture of the earth, and then like the earth like filled with people like from different countries. Representing the earth became filled with many people. Enoch remains faithful to God. As the population of the earth began to increase, more of them did bad things. I'm sorry, most of them did bad things. Enoch, Enoch was different and chose to serve Jehovah God and be a good person and do good things. Enoch lived to be 365 years old. Enoch's son Methuselah lived to be 969 years old. People lived during people that lived during the early part of human history lived longer because they were closer to perfection and were much stronger and had much fewer health problems than people today. God also allowed their lifespan to be longer, but God eventually shortened the lifespan of humans. Okay, now if you look at the picture to the right, it shows the 7 sins. The first one is lust, which are lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, anger, envy, and pride. Lust representing like people that commit fornication and immorality and adultery, and then gluttony represent people that don't like to share food, or that like overeat. And then greed represent particularly wealthy people that that really they just want like to make as much money as they can, and not like help people that really need money. Sloth representing laziness, or people that don't really want to work. And then anger representing people that like get into fights and stuff. And then envy representing jealousy, or people that don't like to see people doing good for themselves, or people that's jealous because somebody has something that they do not have. I think I'm a little bit envy, but it's, I guess that's just who I am. But I mean, I don't mean to be, but I think I have that naturally. Pride, which represents people who think they're better than other people. Thanks for watching part 4. Part 5 should be coming very soon. And by the way, I have new glasses now. In my last video, my glasses were different. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.